वाच तदा तत्साधु मन्ये सुरवर्य देहिनां सदा समुद्विग्नधियाम् असद्ग्रहात् हित्वात्मपाथं गरमन्दभूपं वनं गतो यत् हरिम् आश्रयेथ. Sri Prahlad Maharaja, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prahlad Maharaja replied, O best of the Asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport: Hiranyakashipu thought that Prahlada, being nothing but a small boy with no actual experience, might reply with something pleasing but nothing practical. Prahlad Maharaja, however, being an exalted devotee, had acquired all the qualities of education. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahad gunaha guna manorathena sati dhavato bahihi. One who has unflinching faith in devotion to Krishna consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality Godhead has no good qualification because he is engaged by mental concoctions in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12. So-called educated philosophers and scientists who are simply on the mental platform cannot distinguish between what is actually Sat, eternal, and what is Asat, temporary. The Vedic injunction is Asato ma Jyotirgama. Everyone should give the platform of temporary existence and approach the eternal platform. The soul is eternal, and topics concerning the eternal soul are actually knowledge. Elsewhere it is said, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Gruheshu Gruha Medinam. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.2. Those who are attached to the bodily conception of life and who thus stick to life as a grahastha or householder on the platform of material sense enjoyment cannot see the welfare of the eternal soul. Prahlada Maharaja confirmed this by saying that if one wants success in life, he should immediately understand from the right sources what his self-interest is and how he should mold his life in spiritual consciousness. One should understand himself to be part and parcel of Krishna and thus completely take shelter of his lotus feet for guaranteed spiritual success. Everyone in the material world is in the bodily conception, struggling hard for existence, life after life. Prahlad Maharaja therefore recommended that to stop this material condition of repeated birth and death, one should go to the forest Vana. In the Varnashrama system, one first becomes a brahmachari, then a grahastha, a vanaprastha, and finally a sannyasi. Going to the forest means accepting manaprastha life, which is between grahastha life and sannyasa, as confirmed in the Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. Varnashramacharvata purushena parapuman Vishnuraradhyate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 8.58. By accepting this institution of Varna and Ashrama, one can very easily elevate himself to the platform of worshipping Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, if one remains in the bodily conception, one must rot within this material world and his life will be a failure. Society must have divisions of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, and for spiritual advancement one must gradually develop as a brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha and sannyasi. Prahlad Maharaja recommended that his father accept vanaprastha life because as a grahastha he was becoming increasingly demoniac due to bodily attachment. Prahlada recommended to his father that accepting vanaprastha life would be better than going deeper and deeper into graham andha kupam, the blind well of life as a grahastha. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore invite all the elderly persons of the world to come to Vrindavana and stay there in retired life, making advancement in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So this is actually very nice sloka. So this is a conversation between Prahlad Maharaj and his father Hiranyakashipu. So before we try to understand this sloka, we will take blessings of Guru. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmiritam Mena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nita Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Ragara Gramadhanine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatma Satarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this sloka is very nice, very important and very informative and very decisive. This shloka, this is a conversation between Prahlad Maharaja and his son Hiranyakashipu and his father Hiranyakashipu. So they are the family of Daitya family, which means enemies families, enemies of Lord Krishna. Daityas means there are enemies of demigods, enemies of Lord Vishnu, Daityas. But even though in Daityas, Prahlada has taken birth, he is a great devotee, he is a Mahajana. So he became devotee by the teachings of Narada Muni. When he was in the womb of his mother, Narada Muni advised his mother. So in that way, he got the teachings within the mother womb only. He learned things, Vaishnava religion, Vaishnava dharma, devotion to Krishna. He learned from his mother's womb only. So here he is explaining to his father for discussion, friendly discussion among the father and son. He is telling what is what. So he is telling, O best of the asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master. So he is referring to Narada Muni. So any person who has accepted the temporary body and temporary household life is utterly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in dark well where there is no water but only suffering. So this householder life, temporary householder life, and this temporary body and temporary household life is temporary, but we are too much attached to this. When we are too much attached to this temporary body and temporary household life, then we'll certainly have anxiety, how to maintain this body, how to maintain this house, how to maintain our relatives, friends, so many things, how to give charity, how to give, so many things will be in always anxiety because we have accepted this temporary body and temporary household life. But when we do it as a Krishna service, that is becomes happiness. When we do it for self gratification, that will become source of anxiety. So the body is temporary, the household life is temporary, but that should be engaged in Krishna service. Then the anxiety will not be there. If even that anxiety will become happiness. But if we do not engage the body in Krishna service and do not engage the household life in Krishna service, then that will be source of our anxiety. So because this is considered to be a dark well, there is no water but only suffering, because all they will exploit, they are like the plunderers, the relatives will be like plunderers. When you are not having money, nobody will care. When you have money, everybody will come and plunder the resources. So like this it will happen. Family life means they are plunderers, like children's or wife or any parents or anybody. They like how it is a plunderer. You have no money, they will not care about you. When you have money, they will all come and they will flock around you, give this, like that. So you cannot come out of this, then you will be in anxiety. So this is what is this shloka is all about. Where there is no water but only suffering. You think that this problem is going to solve, okay, but next problem will come. So it is like a dark well where there is no water, only suffering. So it is like a desert. You may be getting little happiness in the family life, which is like a water in the desert, but you will not able to come out of the desert. You will not able to come out of this dark well, because there is nobody to rescue you out of this difficult situation. But only if you surrender to Krishna, then you will be able to come out of the situation. Otherwise, if you are Graha Medhi, it is difficult. So this is actually instruction is for Graha Medhi father. So for Grahasthas, everything, body, household, everything they are surrendering to Krishna. Marobi Rakobi Joiche Tumara Arpidu Tuvapada Nanda Kishora. My house, everything I surrender unto you. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So either you protect me or you kill me, I surrender unto you. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So Graha Medhi Grahastha. This is actually instruction is for Graha Medhis. So because they are too much attached to this body and household life, it is better for them to give up this house at the suitable time and go to forest and do penance, austerity there. Especially Prabhupada mentions you go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan where Lord Krishna, the devotional pastimes, you can remember, you can become a devotee. So Prabhupada mentions like Vrindavana. So there are many holy places all over India, like Mayapur is there, Jagannath Puri is there, Vrindavan is there, Dwaraka is there, so many Srirangam, Tirupati, so many holy places all over the world. So at the time of when old age time, we should retire and go to some holy places like this and engage in Krishna consciousness, engage in spiritual service to Lord Krishna, devotional service to Lord Krishna. So Hiranyakashipu thought that Prahlada, being nothing but a small boy with no actual experience, might reply with something pleasing but nothing practical. Prahlad Maharaja, however, being an exalted devotee and had acquired all the qualities of education, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvais Tatre Samasate Suraha Harao Bhaktasya Kuto Mahadgunah Anoratena Sati Dhavato Bahihi. One who has unflinching faith, devotional faith in Krishna, consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality Godhead has no good qualification, because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. So there may be so many very good qualifications we may find in people who are not devotees of Krishna, but that is just a mental concoction. But if one is a devotee of Krishna, even though he may not have many good qualities, but still he is good, because he will develop the qualities, good qualities slowly, because by association with Lord Krishna, he will develop all the good qualities. If one is not a devotee of Krishna, but he has a lot of good qualities, we cannot trust that. The good qualities may be there for some time, may not be there for some time. So it's better to trust a devotee of Lord Krishna, even though he may have some negative qualities, but still he is good. So Vishnu Bhakti Bhaved Dive Asurastad Viparyaha. So Vishnu devotees will have all good qualities. Asuras will not have many good qualities. Even though they may be externally they have some good qualities, but main disqualification is they are not devotees of Vishnu. That is the main disqualification they have. So-called educated philosophers and scientists who are simply on the mental platform cannot distinguish between what is actually Sat eternal and what is Asat temporary. The Vedic injunction is Asatoma Jyotirgamaha. Everyone should give up the platform of temporary existence and approach the eternal platform. So this world is considered Kamachika, Tamoguna world, full of darkness, but it is recommended to approach Jyotirgama. We all have to go to Jyoti, Brahma Jyoti and Bhagavan. All the planets are situated in Brahma Jyoti, like sunshine. These are all the planets are situated in the sunshine. Similarly, all the spiritual planets are situated in Brahma Jyoti. So we all have to go from temporary Tamoguna world of this to Jyotirgama, spiritual world. The soul is eternal, and topics concerning the soul, eternal soul, are also actually knowledge. So there may be so many topics, like there is material elements, 8 material elements are there: earth, water, ether, air, fire, mind, intelligence and ego. There may be so many topics may be there. but ultimate topic, actual topic is about the soul, about the Atma, which is the highest topic, which is the very important topic, which is the real topic. All other things will change, but soul will not change. Soul will always remain. But earth, water, ether, air, fire, mind, intelligence, ego, everything will be changing, but the soul will always remain as it is. Only the activities. It elsewhere it is said, apashyatam atmatattvam gruheshu gruhamedinam. So gruhamedis, they will be too much attached to the body, too much attached to the houses, their country of birth, their family, so like that. So what happens? They don't get, they don't give up the household life. So they don't take up spiritual life. What happens? They may become ghost in that same family, or they may take birth again in the same family. So it will go, such a chain will go up like that. Those who are attached to the bodily conception of life, and who thus stick to life as a grahastha, householder, on the platform of material sense cannot see the welfare of eternal soul. Grahamedi. So this is an opportunity. Human form of life is an opportunity to understand about the eternality of the soul, and engagement in that eternal platform. But the grahasthas, they are attached to this temporary body on account of ignorance of their eternal self. They are engaging in this bodily activities. They will so for them there is no happiness. They will repeatedly take birth and die. So we all have to follow the Guru Parampara, then only we will get the real knowledge. Otherwise some people will mislead us. So like government is misleading, and politicians are misleading, film stars, sports stars, so many so-called Babaji, so-called Swamijis are misleading the human society to enjoy this temporary body, which is a wrong platform. But we have to approach the parampara, Guru Shishya parampara, which are authorized, like Madhvacharya is there, Ramanacharya is there, Nimbarka is there, Vishnu Swami is there. So many acharyas are there. We have to follow the acharyas. Then only we will be able to understand the reality of this world. Otherwise, people will mislead us and they will exploit us. One should understand himself to be part and parcel of Krishna, and thus completely take shelter of his lotus feet for guaranteed spiritual success. So this politician, this sports star, this cricket stars, this so-called Swamijis will not tell you that you surrender to Krishna, you are part and parcel of Krishna. They will simply exploit you and they will cheat you. They will keep you always in ignorance. Everyone in the material world, in the bodily conception, is struggling hard for existence, life after life. Prahlad Maharaja therefore recommended that to stop this material condition of repeated birth and death, one should go to the forest. So in the city life, it is very difficult to follow spiritual life. So much distraction is there nowadays. So much distraction, TV, cinema, mobile, internet. So much distraction is there. So much illusion is there. So it is not possible to practice devotional service in these congested cities. Better to go to some solitary place, maybe some brasa, maybe some village, or maybe some holy place. Better to go there and engage in spiritual life. Then only it is possible, practical. Otherwise, it is living the city very difficult. If there is a temple, there is ISKCON center is there. It's good. Otherwise, we should try to develop a center there. Or we can go to where there is devotees, where there is a center. In the Varnashrama system, one first becomes a brahmachari, then a grahastha, a brahmanaprastha, and finally a sannyasi. So this is a gradual progress is there. From the boyhood to youth to old age, there is a progress. Similarly, there is in the youth, one is supposed to remain as a brahmachari, and when a little bit mature, he can get married. And in the boyhood, he is a brahmachari. In the youth, he will become a grahastha, At the old age he will become a vanaprastha, after that sannyasa. Going to the forest means accepting vanaprastha life, which is between grahastha life and sannyasa, as confirmed in the Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. Varnasramacharavata purushena parapuman Vishnu raradhyate tirtamrita madrila. By accepting the institution of Varna and Ashrama, one can very easily elevate himself to the platform of worshipping Vishnu. So gradually we should get trained ourselves as a brahmachari, then grahastha and vanaprastha, and last sannyasa. So in this way we can worship. In this way we can get elevated to spiritual life. Otherwise, if one remains in this bodily conception, one must not rot within this material world. If you are not able to understand this, if you are not ready to give up this family life, if you are not able to ready to give up this material world, then will take repeatedly birth and death. One must rot in the material world, and his life will be failure. So that is considered to be failure. Because human form of life only we can understand all these spiritual topics. Other life it is not possible. So if you are not utilizing this human form of life for the spiritual cultivation, spiritual progress, Krishna consciousness, devotional service, and it is a waste. Because you are given a multi-crore, if you are given a multi-crore building, okay, so that building commercial complex, maybe you could take a multi-crore worth commercial complex is given to you, and you don't engage any business, you don't generate revenue with that property, that complex, and what is the use? It is a waste only, no? So it is like that. This body is like a highly worth, crores of worth body, human form of body. When this body is not utilized for higher purposes, spiritual purpose, Krishna consciousness, this is a waste only, a failure. This human form of life is a failure. So society must have divisions of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and for spiritual advancement one must gradually develop as a brahmachari, grahastha and vanaprastha and sannyasa. So there are three gunas are there, Satya Guna, Raja Guna, Tama Guna. Based on the association of these three gunas, one becomes a Brahmana, one becomes a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And also gradually one has to be trained as a brahmachari and gradually as a grahastha and then as a vanaprastha and sannyasa. So this is applicable to all categories of people. So spiritual life are applicable to all are welcome in this line. Anybody can get elevated if he practices. So Prahlad Maharaja recommended that his father accept vanaprastha life because as a grahastha he was becoming increasingly demoniac due to bodily attachment. So those who are too much attached to this body, because they become selfish, too much selfish, they don't give importance to others. So what happens? They harm others for their sense gratification. So ignorance is the cause for all kinds of suffering in this world. So this they become ghostly creatures. Sometimes they do not give up their bodily attachment. They are too much attached to the body and too much attached to the family and relatives and the country. They take again birth there, or if they don't get proper birth, they may become ghostly creature and they move around that country or that house. So that is how the ghostly population increases, because they are not having the spiritual knowledge. So that's why their ghostly population has increased in Kali Yuga also. In Kali Yuga, there is no proper food, there is no proper accommodation, there is no proper family relationship. So people are becoming ghostly creature. So Prahlad Maharaja recommended to his father that it is the duty of a son to liberate this father. That's why he is called a putra. Son offers shraddha and tarpana pinda to ancestors, dead relatives, and his forefathers. So he delivers children. Son delivers the forefathers, or no father, in case if he is not elevated. If he is moving like a ghostly creature, ghostly body. So responsibility of son is very high. As a father takes the responsibility of raising the children, similarly it is responsible the children to pay back all the love which he got from the father, from the parents. So it is his duty, in case if the father is suffering, it is his duty to help. the father also. That's why it's called putra. If the son is a qualified son, he will help this father. That's why it's called putra. In case if he's not if he's not attained a suitable body, if his father has not attained a suitable body, then he may become ghostly creature. So that children are supposed to offer pinda tarpana to forefathers. And if he is not offering this, then he will have difficulty in his life. So that's why it's called putra. He delivers a father from a hell called Put. So Graha Mandakupam, this household life is considered to be dark well, because you will be entangled with so much responsibility. You cannot come out of this responsibility. You will have responsibility in the company, in the family, the children's and relatives. So many responsibility will be there. So you will be attached to this, fulfilling this responsibility, and you cannot come out of this responsibility. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore invite all the elderly persons of the world to come to Vrindavana and stay there in retired life, making advancement in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So when we have earned money, we should save it for retirement also. So nowadays it is totally difficult, but otherwise other olden period there were so many anathashramas were there, so many old age homes were there. So they were given all facilities. So now also there are so many places we can. So at the old age time we should go to forest if possible. Otherwise, if we can go to some holy place and stay in some monastery and then practice spiritual life, that is will be good. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Please chant this Hare Krishna mantra daily. That will definitely give you relief from anxieties. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If you would like to donate, you can contact me 9611243737. That is 9611243737. Any donation is welcome. 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees. Any donation is welcome. We only appreciate your attitude of giving. When you take something, you should also give something. That is a reciprocation. That is a showing of gratitude. So we take knowledge from my Guru. I take knowledge from my Guru, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and His Divine Graces Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and Parampara. We take knowledge from them. So we try to offer them something in gratitude. Similarly, if you got benefited from this knowledge, you can offer some donation. I will offer to my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna I will offer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.